So you gotta think about like we already know majority of owners was either racist or saying think wild shit. That's why for one, like somebody a lot of them end up selling teams. That's even in the NFL. Like they lock a lot of people out of even being into becoming owners within the NFL, which is crazy.
Yeah.
So my biggest thing is like it's past the media of selling the idea of what these organizations is. It's the organization being able to keep up their reputation. So it's like the New York Knicks always gonna be the New York Knicks until somebody on the New York Knicks be playing with the New York Knicks and like we're a playoff team, but short. This organization's still trash. Like when Brown left, he told them like the Cavs was trash without me. He let it be known like y'all was trash without him. So I remember when Dan Gilbert wrote all that stuff to Brown saying like they was gonna win a chip before he ever won another winning chip. And then Brown came won the chip 2 years later, and then they had three straight number one picks. They had three straight. They had Kyrie, Anthony Bennett, Andrew Wiggins, back to back to back. I did count. Got back. That's what I'm saying. For him to have him back and save their team. So it's like at the end of the day, they still see the value and what is capable. So it goes to the creativity part. Bron don't know how to create. When we talk about the value, really don't matter. But who had all the leverage once the value was, and that's what he figured if he left. He figured that when he left, he said, "I might just say you hate this shit up because they try and cheat, especially when." The crazy part is when that Chris Paul trade didn't go down because the NBA owns the Hornets. He knew that something was, he knew he would have been stuck on the team, but he never talked about that stuff. But watch when he retire and he want to talk, he gonna really truly say how he felt about all of it and how the business is ran. But a lot of people are okay with how business is being ran if you end up like Dylan Brooks. And everybody, and it's crazy because all his peers don't like him at all. None of his peers like him. So it's like, are you willing to ruin your reputation and your image for a business that don't care about you? Or are you really trying to help the people that's around you get to where they was going along too? And like he was really willing on destroying people in the NBA or the organizations instead of trying to uplift the play competitive basketball. They was really trying to make everybody outside out there really disrespecting niggas like it was it. But that's how I know. So let's play on it then, because I was just watching something. They talked about how hip hop, the rap in general, it has like I think it was like a 49 or 59% homicide ratio for it, like percentile for it. And it's like the system now is made up in the NBA for the youth to get messed up. Now I found that we starting to see the music industry and the entertainment industry really push harder towards the youth. But it's going back to what you just said, is that the poor righteousness from people from us not able to like enabling our kids when they were when we were kids, so we never got the chance to either learn from our cousins, scratch our aunts and uncles and moms and dads, our cousins, our older brothers, sisters, whatever. And now that shit, I'm a father of Generation Alpha. Do I continue to be like, all right, this job is gonna get me to where I need to go, or is my skill set is gonna get me to where I'm. And when Brian left with that, like you said, he tapped into that focus. He got to teach us to all the young boys around him, or it's like y'all thought, oh, well, that's my bad. You feel me? He's gonna suffer in the long term because he's literally putting out everything. And then if you putting it out after yourself, it's like you're not really putting out no energy at all.
Kevin Durant.
But even so, right? So let's talk about KD.
Look, before you move on, I want to bring James Dolan into the conversation, right? Because I'm not over this New York Knicks thing.
No, you gonna bring us this.
And because I gotta scope it out for the people, because this is still the creative community personal branding session. Like I know I'm speaking to creative, so I gotta make it make sense because we all in the entertainment business now. How you turn sports into entertainment? I'm gonna show you how you do it. I'm gonna show you how you turn sports into entertainment, right? So you got James Dolan. He's been owning the Knicks for super duper long. He's making a whole lot of money, and he does not have a successful record, right? Now imagine you going to work and being signed up for 82 days of work and only averaging 30 to 40 days of coming. That's his job ethics. He's like, I'm going to only make sure this team wins at an average of 30 or 40% of the time. They're not even going to win. I'm not going to make sure anybody, I'm just going to overpay sorry players. And like you said, let them make a mockery of their own careers here. I'm going to bring busted coaches. I'm not going to hire anybody. But he also owns Madison Square Garden now, right? He's not just the CEO of the Knicks, he's the CEO of Madison Square Garden. So everything that comes in there on a Friday or a Saturday or a Sunday or a Monday or a Tuesday, that's him. So is he owning the Knicks because he's a basketball owner, or did he just have the money at the time when somebody didn't want to buy a failing franchise and he's just been holding on to it ever since because nobody else trying to buy it? So it's like we looking at the most impoverished city, one of the worst places to ride an apple, New York City, right? Well, niggas, like I said, murder rate, homicide rate, hip hop drill, the whole nine. He the Jerry Jones of the NBA. Thank you. Thank you very much, Josh. That is the greatest analogy right there. He's the Jerry Jones of the NBA. Because they got Donald Sterling already out. So he's the new one. So that's what I'm saying. It's like this is a city state play. These people talk on a larger level. That's why I made the dot earlier when I was recognizing who we were, because if we don't bring all those dots together, they just gonna keep eating people up out of the joint. When sports, why doesn't it look at like what the MLB is looked at like, right? Like what's the one for soccer called? FIFA, right? These are global platforms, but when you deal with hip hop, the NBA, and football, it's all just the United States. They keep you here. They don't let you integrate and brand yourself outside of this little pocket of 300 million people, right? When there's 7 million people in the world. You know what I'm saying? So that's just the facts of the matter. It's like, they're not trying to let you see the money. It's just a business play. That's all that it is. I don't think James Dolan is like hate black people, right? I don't think the NBA or the NFL is like, I hate black people. I think they're like, if y'all are willing to be the building blocks of my empire, then continue to do so, right? But I'm not going to respect you for not having no equity.
Quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
People seen not Tropic Thunder. What's the joint with Will Ferrell?
Talladega Nights.
When he played Jackie Moon.
Somebody in the comments got to help us. What was the question again?
They were the Tropics. The basketball team was the Tropics. They had Andrew Thunder. What's the name of their movie though?
Hold on, I know what you're talking about. The joint where he had like the red, white, and blue and all of that. I got the computer right here. Hold on. Super Bowl or some shit like that.
Yo, somebody commented that movie with Will Ferrell, he played Jackie Moon.
I mean,
he was the owner.
And he bro.
Boom, right? So we on point right now. All right. So where was the team at?
I'm not gonna lie, you caught me slipping. I never seen Simi, bro.